What it is, what it ain't, what it's gonna be. Hey, my collective cuties, welcome to the Creatrix Collective's very first YouTube tutorial video. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to make your very own Fairy Mermaid Cardigan. Thank you so much for tuning in to this video. I really appreciate it, and stay tuned. I have so much in store for this channel, but let's get into this tutorial. Everything you're going to need for this project is shown above and will also be listed below. Starting off with our shoulder to shoulder measurements. I am about 15 and a half, almost 16 inches in my shoulders. So I am going to just pull that out for reference and get going with my chain. I am going to start with my good old slip knot, and for my personal measurements, I'm going to start with a chain of 40. This is where you're going to plug in your personal measurements and make sure you account for yarn stretch. If you do want a more oversized look, you're going to chain a little bit longer than what the measurements for your shoulders are to get that oversized look. Now that I have my 40 chains, I am just going to test my yarn stretch against my measurements. I cannot stress enough. Stretch that yarn. Test that foundation chain. This will save you a whole lot of frogging in the end if it's too big. So we're going to chain our additional 2 and yarn over and go back in with 1/2 double crochet in every stitch back down that foundation chain. Once you reach the end of your row, chain 3, turn your work, and now we're going to go in with our triple crochet stitches. Yarn over twice, pull up, pull through 1, pull through 2, pull through 3. Yarn over twice, insert, pull up, pull through 1, pull through 2, and pull through 3. We're going to repeat this pattern for the entirety of this row, and pretty much the rest of the project is going to be this triple crochet stitch. Okay, so we're going to repeat that process until we have about 6 rows total. If your arms are bigger, you can go up to 8 or 10 rows. I am going to stop it at 6, and now we're going to go in and start on our front panel pieces. So I chained 40 for my back piece. I am going to chain just under 20 for my front 2 panel pieces so that I have a little space for my neck. You don't want them to connect too much in the front. So we're going to do the same thing we did for the back piece on the 2 front pieces. You start with your foundation chain. Make sure you chain your additional 2 stitches, yarn over, and we're going to go back down with 1/2 double crochet stitch in each space, so on and so forth. Once we finish that row, we're going to chain 3, turn our work, and we're going to continue that process until we have 6 rows total to match our back panel, and then we repeat that process on the second front panel. So I'll meet you back after you have 2 front panel pieces. Now that you have both of your front panels, we are going to go ahead and get them connected to your back panel piece. This is going to be the only sewing that is required for the entirety of this project. You are going to make sure your front and back panels are lined up. We're going to go in and attach our yarn, and you are going to sew those two pieces together with a single crochet stitch. I'm going to repeat that on the second side, and once you're done connecting the top of the panels, you want to make sure that you also connect the bottom of those panels. In the right and left corners, you are going to add some yarn. You're going to tie some good knots. We need 3 to 5 good knots at the bottom of each corners of the panels. You do have the option to connect the bottom corners of your panels with a single crochet as well. I just prefer the knots, but this is how it looks when everything is connected. Your armholes are already there, and we're just going to continue. From here, you are going to attach your yarn at the bottom corner of the project. And from there, we're going to chain 3 and continue with our triple crochet stitches. And as I stated previously, we are going to be using the triple crochet stitch pretty much for this whole entire project. From here, we are going to work our way around the remainder of this row. And I recorded this bit because whether or not you connected your bottom panels with a single crochet, or if you connected those bottom panels with a knot, you want to make sure that once you get to that knot or that single crochet, that you add in an additional triple crochet stitch. This is what makes it seamless down the sides of the piece. And here I am showing you where that knot is and showing me adding in that additional triple crochet stitch into that space. From there, we're just going to keep working our way around 1 triple crochet into each space. Make sure you repeat this process on the second half of the project as well once you get around to the other armhole. And this is just me showing what the piece looks like once a little bit of length is added. There is still a ways to go, but y'all check this out. No seams. No seams. This is my favorite way to make a cardigan because there are no seams. It's so clean. But now it's time to get started on our increases. So once you finish up your 23rd row, we are going to chain 3, turn our work, and we're going to get started on our increases. So I increased by 8. We're going to count 1. Oh, also stitch mark this row. You want to make sure you remember where you started the increases. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And after my 8th stitch, I am going to go ahead and add 2 triple crochet stitches into the same stitch. And that is going to be my pattern for the remainder of this row and really the remainder of the project. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And in the 9th stitch, we are going to add 2 increases. For the next row, there will be no increases. And after that, we're going to increase again. But this time we are going to count to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And in the 8th stitch is where you're going to add your 2 increases. So the pattern is increase, no increase, increase, no increase, increase, no increase, as you increase your way down the length of the project. And I know this may sound a little bit confusing, but again, the entire pattern will be listed in the below section of this video. So pause as you need to, reference that pattern as you need to. Once you get past the length of the piece and into the increases, you're really in the home stretch. Okay, I know I just said if you're at the bottom portion, you're in the home stretch, but here we go right here. Once you add on them sleeves, you really in the home stretch now. So you're going to attach your yarn at the bottom of your armhole, and depending on how wide it is, you're just going to crochet as you see fit around that hole. You want to make sure that your sleeve is going to fit around your arm comfortably. I chained 25 half double crochets around the circle, and then I slip stitched to close that circle. From there, I started my chain 3, and I just continued on with my triple crochet stitches, and you're going to do the same until you have a total of 10 rows. After you do have your 10 rows, we are going to go in with our increases. It's going to be exactly the same as the bottom half of your sweater, but instead of starting your count with 8, you're going to start your count with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and increase in that 6th stitch. You are going to follow rounds 10 through 17 listed in the pattern below to see how to properly increase on the sleeve. I wish I was able to record more of the process of me making the sleeve, but y'all, I wasn't expecting this thing to be so heavy. So keep in mind what weight yarn you're using. This is a weight 4, but this is about 6 skeins total. So this is a piece, and baby, she heavy, real heavy. And if you've made it to this point, you now know all the steps needed to make your very own Fairy Mermaid cardigan. Thank you so much for joining me for my first ever tutorial video. Like, share, comment. Please let me know if this video was easy to follow along. I want to keep bringing you quality crochet content. And with that being said, the grand reveal. Here she is in all her glory, my Fairy Mermaid cardigan. The Creatrix Collective signing off. See ya.